safe. Well, good morning. It is now T-minus 6.5 hours to the start of the Spa 24, which for some reason starts at 4:30 in the afternoon. I missed the Daytona 24, which starts at 1:30. But yeah, we've got our bags of provisions, got the backpack. All the other stuff's already at the track in the lockers in the media center, so we have very little to carry in, although we're gonna have a lot to carry out at the end of the race. But yeah, I've got my toothbrush, my rain gear, because I've heard we're gonna get a biblical amount of rain later on, so some possible foreshadowing here. But yeah, we're gonna go head out, get to the racetrack nice and early, get some last minute editing done, run around the paddock a bit and get a few more car shots, and then before you know it, it'll be time for the pre-race ceremonies of Spa 24. So let's get to it.
Here we go.
Apparently in Europe, the buttons don't do anything. Someone told me that. They put them in, but like they don't do anything with a closed door. But who knows? There's a Mervin video, fun fact for you. That's possibly not true. No, that's not the remote for a ceiling fan. It's the key for this car. So unfortunately we couldn't park in the lot we had to pass for, the closed lot, because it was already full. So we had to park in the P15, which is basically in Amsterdam. But fortunately we actually got a shuttle to drop us off here at the underground. So we had to go up the stairs here and into the media center. So very nice that we actually got a shuttle, or else it's a very, very, very long walk. So this is our home base for the next 40 hours or so. The media center here at Spa is actually pretty fantastic. It's climate controlled, which is nice, which is not the case in every European media center. You know, we've got fast internet, there's lockers down at the end there. We can leave our stuff here overnight. They actually have like some sandwiches and stuff you can buy over there, but we have catering with the team, so we don't have to worry about that. And yeah, among good friends, there's room underneath the desk, set up our camping mattress to have a nap, and works out well. So not a bad place to be based for the next 40 hours. So I'm all set up now with my Apple store here. You know, my ergonomic setup where I still slouch like an idiot, but you know, it's better. You know, I've got my keyboard, my mouse. It's like a nice setup that, you know, helps me work quickly and efficiently. That's the big thing. But Brent is down shooting the Mustang Corral right now for this piece that we're doing for Ford Performance, and then I am just gonna finish up some quick edits here, just doing some Instagram story stuff for some people just to have for the race, like drivers putting their helmets on, stuff like that. So when there's a driver change, they can post in the Instagram story about it. And then I'm just gonna grab the gimbal and head down into the garages and do a few extra shots of the cars. All right, so about an hour and 10 minutes away from the start, and we've got camera ready to go. We're using the Sony FX6, got a 24-70 on there, and then in my pouch back here I've got a 100-400 to shoot to start with. So I'm gonna go basically down to the box, get the guys suiting up and getting in, and then go straight to the grid from there. That's why I have my fire suit on. And then as soon as I shoot the start, I'm basically gonna go back to the pits and get ready to shoot the first pit stop. There's some heavy rain coming later in the race, so we have to maximize as much as we can get in these first few hours, because the rain is probably going to cause a red flag and delay a bunch of things. So yeah, I have to get as much as we can now.
It does feel crazy to be in the pits in shorts and t-shirt.
You should do a season of fermenting. We can be like this all the time.
Oh, Wack was like this the first year I did it.
You can shoot pit stops just like this. All right, so action has started. The pit lane is open, and what that means is all the cars get the tires on, they go out, basically do a recon lap, and then park on the grid. And we do a bit of a pre-race grid with, you know, some ceremonies and whatnot, and then it's right into the start of the race.
grid here is always absolute chaos. You've got people, they're trying to park cars, and you got people taking selfies and not paying attention. Like, it's wild. It's absolutely insane. That's really ironic. I just said that while I'm filming myself, but I actually know to pay attention. Look at this, there's so many people. Grandstands are packed. Endurance racing is on the rise, and it's awesome. Yeah.
C'est 35-24 heures de Spa qui est pourtant une épreuve qui lui tient particulièrement à cœur.
Ouais, c'est sûr, puisqu'on retrouve chaque année en pilote officiel Mercedes AMG.
That actually worked out perfectly. So the grid was a bit crazy, but it actually worked out perfectly because Ford was right by this gap in the fence down here. So I'll just go through that gap and be right here trackside. I'm gonna go down basically almost to Eau Rouge to get a panning shot as they come down. And then Brent is up there at the top of Radion to shoot the start from there nice and wide. So we got two angles. It's great to be working with someone else. Brent's an absolute legend. So super helpful to have him with me. And yeah, here we are. Super excited, 24 hours of Spa, my second 24-hour race in 2 weeks. I just did Le Mans 2 weeks ago, and I shot a 6-hour race at Watkins Glen last week, so I tried to cross the Atlantic in 2 weeks. I'm very tired, my body's feeling it, but I am so excited to get this race started. This is one of the best races in the world. So I'm gonna shoot the start from right here, as to run down here into Eau Rouge. I have never seen so many people here for the Spa 24. Over there is packed. All the grandstands behind me there are packed. All the grandstands behind me there are packed. They're about 40 deep down at the bottom of Eau Rouge. It's amazing. Endurance racing is in such a good place. It's on the rise. If you have a chance to go to an endurance race near you, do it. Drop your location in the comments below where you live, and I'll let you know what races you can go to in your area. I'll try to respond to everyone. I'm super excited for the Spa 24. Let's get it. Yeah, that wasn't great. Couldn't really get much where I was, but there was no point in going down to the bottom of Eau Rouge so late and trying to fight for a spot. You know, people get there earlier, they get the spot. I elected to shoot the grid, which is important. So here's what it is. I'm gonna head back now to the support pit lane, do some shooting in the bottom of the support pit lane, and then basically just get ready for the first round of pit stops. Pit wall here in the old pit lane, the endurance pit lane here at Spa, is just unbelievable place to stand during a race. Like the way they fly past you, the fence shakes from the air. It's amazing. It's so cool. If you didn't know, Spa actually has two pit lanes, and this is the second one. The other one is the F1 pit lane, which is up the hill. But they actually form one pit lane for the Spa 24. You have to drive through the entire thing, around the corner up at La Source, down the whole endurance pit lane, and exit up there because there's so many cars. There's 67 cars in this race. It's the longest pit lane in the world. So if you get a drive-through penalty, that's a massive penalty. So you can't violate track limits. And a lot of the drivers will tell you this is the hardest race to win. It's definitely the hardest GT race to win in the world. Let's check this out. Camera for dear life. We're an hour and a half in, it's 6 p.m. and I'm just trying to get a shot here through the reflection in the glass. Kind of artsy, kind of different, and we'll see if that works out. Then I'm gonna head back to the pit lane and try and get another pit stop. now. We're just about 3 hours into the race. It's 7:38. I'm out here at La Source, which you access kind of by going down the pit wall, and this is kind of the first turn, the big hairpin. But you'll notice they didn't throw the green into this turn. They actually throw the green for this race at the start down the old start-finish line, just so they don't all like go into La Source and crash, which is what happens in every other championship that throws the green at the current start-finish line. They all crash in the first turn. It's almost like that's a bad idea, and they should stop doing it. But yeah, the finish will be down there. But I'm here at La Source. It's a really cool shot. You can get very close to the cars as they hit the middle of the apex of the hairpin, which I'll show you right here. This is a great spot to kill some time if you're doing like a session in pit lane, or you're waiting maybe another 20 minutes for your car to come in. You can just come down here and, you know, do some shooting, get some trackside stuff at the same time. So it works really well. I had some dinner and I had a waffle, which was amazing. And now I'm just gonna chill while we're under safety car here, wait to go green. Start my own racing championship, it's going to be illegal to pit for just fuel. You can keep the same tires on, but you have to at least take them off and put them back on, because it just doesn't look good. There's nothing exciting about a fuel only pit stop when I'm filming. So change tires every time and then do a huge burnout.
I really like the mood lighting here in the media center. It's nice, actually. So I'm just here doing some editing. We're 5 hours into the race, going to cut up like a 6-hour update for one of my clients. I'm also going to cut up a pit stop for somebody else, send those off, and then kind of be in a holding pattern. We're supposed to get heavy rain soon, so once that starts, I'm just going to, as soon as I start seeing rain on the screen, I'm going to run out and try and shoot some stuff in the rain, just in case there's, you know, safety car periods or even a red flag if there's a heavy downpour. We want to make sure we have some stuff in the rain. So quick change of plans. They've moved the fireworks up. So I'm now going to have 16 minutes to run out to the Eau Rouge grandstand and shoot the fireworks. So that's going to be fun. Hopefully we can get those. Alright, well I got the fireworks. They were a little bit delayed, but I think they look good. I did them in slow-mo. But unfortunately, right before the fireworks went off, right actually where I was standing, one of our client cars spun, actually, kind of at the top of Radillon and flipped the car. The driver's totally fine. But that's going to be them done, unfortunately. So just went to meet with the PR and chit-chat about kind of if they want anything else, what they want to do. So they're going to regroup and let me know if they want any content for the rest of the race. But they're done. So it's unfortunate. It absolutely sucks because you have, you know, relationships and bonds with your clients, and you want to see them do well. And they were on the podium in their class at the time. So it's really shitty. And I really wish they could have finished the race and been on the podium. So back in the media center now, there is a biblical level of rain outside. Like, start gathering 2 of every animal. We're all in here, nice and dry. Our friend Nick is out there shooting right now. But you know what? Somebody has to while we all sit around. But yeah, let's do some editing for now. We are going to have to go and get some rain shots at some point, but we'll see what happens. They're just circulating under safety car because there's too much water on the track. They do have rain tires, and they can race in the rain, but when there gets to be so much water on the track that it's ponding, even with the rain tires they have, they'll slide off track, so they just go around under the safety car for a while. They might even red flag it at some point if it doesn't look like it's going to improve. There's thunder and lightning as well now, so just getting the full experience here at the 24 Hours of Spa. The renowned Belgium weather.
Let's do
No
this.
tires.
Ready to go.
No tires.
It's fine. Driver change. It's fine.
Just driver change.
That's fine.
Rob to Wally.
a shop towel, even like a paper towel.
You can have a rag if you want.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do that. Yeah, thank you.
I'll get you a free one.
Appreciate you.
And then if you want paper towels as well,
It's in there. Amazing. Thanks, mate.
help yourself.
Perfect. Appreciate it. That actually looks sick.
Can you put rain X on a camera?
Yeah.
Can you?
No.
No.
No, you cannot. So we're still under safety car. I'm out in the pit lane. I just got a couple of pit stops that looked mint. Absolutely amazing. But it is like biblical levels of rain. This is like gather 2 of every animal type rain. They cannot race in this. A lot of the teams are on the horn to race control, asking for a red flag, saying there's no reason to be out there. The cars are sliding around still under yellow, so we'll see what happens. We might get a red flag, maybe time to get some sleep. But yeah, just look at this. Like, you can't race in this. It's too much rain, and they want to keep doing pit stops. Hey, looks cool on film. While we're on the subject of the rain, let's talk about some of the most important pieces of equipment you can bring to a 24-hour race, and that's your rain gear. Like, I've got a nice 5-star rated rain jacket on right now, rain pants, and some very nice brand new Nike Gore-Tex shoes. These are actually trail running shoes, so they're like super comfortable like a running shoe, but they're also completely waterproof. And this is my first race wearing them, and they're doing a really good job. So having wet weather stuff is super important because the weather can change anytime. It's a full 24-hour event, right? So you can have rain at one point, sun at another time. And here at Spa, the track basically has its own climate, and it always rains pretty much. So gotta have your wet weather gear. It also bucketed rain at Le Mans 2 weeks ago. It was really important to have all this stuff to keep me dry. You ready to drive 50 kilometers an hour? Well, have fun out there. Well, I am now stationed on the camping mattress underneath the desk. It's time for a quick nap. It is 7:15 in the morning. We still have over 9 hours to go. So time for a quick nap, and that's gonna be right back into getting some rain action, getting some pit stops and whatnot. So yeah, I used to actually stay up all 24 hours, like stay up for like 38, 40 hours. But I don't do that anymore because that was dumb. So get a nap in, it really helps.
A few moments later.
Well, I've awoken from my under the desk sleep. That camping mattress was a clutch, and that sleep was amazing. But 90 minutes, just enough to get you through the next, how much time's left? 6 hours and 42 minutes. The thing with this race starting so late is when the sun comes up, it's like there's still so much time left. So yeah, gonna do some more edits now. It's not super exciting, but do a few more edits, and then I'm going to head back out and get some shots of dirty race cars. Unfortunately, we had another car retire as well, so we're down to just a few cars left. Had a good sleep, but I'm still pretty tired. Quick little stint in the pit lane, got a Ford pit stop. I picked up my lunch from Optimum Motorsport, and I'm gonna have that while I cut up a few more things. And then I let the boys borrow the Vespa that I rented. Michele and Drew went out on my Vespa, and then once they get back, I'm gonna go out and get some footage of dirty cars. I feel like I've mentioned that a few times, I just still haven't done it, but it's going to happen. On the Vespa to come out here and get some dirty car shots. There's about 2.5 hours left in the race. It's about 2 p.m. on Sunday. And the crazy thing about this point of a 24-hour race, you start thinking to yourself, these cars have been running for nearly a day. For 22 hours, these cars have been circulating in
are still running, they're still racing. A lot of them have damage and had repairs done. They're incredibly dirty with exhaust and the rain and everything that's happened. But it's just wild. Like 24-hour races really are surreal in that way. Like I keep thinking like, oh yeah, that stuff I shot earlier today, that wasn't earlier today. That was yesterday. It's the next day. It's wild. Brent and I are suited up, got the cameras, gonna head down to the pit lane now to just kind of shoot the teams celebrating at the end of the race. As much as none of ours are on the podium, they do still celebrate finishing a 24-hour race because it is such a huge accomplishment just to finish one of these. So they might even go to the wall, celebrate, high five, hug, the usual stuff. Really good imagery, especially in slow-mo to get for different edits or recaps. So they head down to get that. About 10 minutes left in the race. Unfortunately, we do have to wear fire suits and helmets because we might have to go in the pit lane. Well, that's essentially a wrap on 24 hours. That's fun. Although it's not really a wrap because I have more editing to do, but it's not due yet. But the first batch of editing, I'm really tired. We're just waiting for Michele to finish with his photos, and then we can go to dinner. We shouldn't go to dinner, we should just go to bed, but we're gonna go to dinner because it's like, why not, right? You're already sleep deprived. Let's go for dinner. We've earned it.
The next day.
Well, good morning. We are now driving. What time is it? 7:05 a.m. and we are driving to Amsterdam to catch our flight home. The 6 hours of sleep we got after essentially being awake for 40 some hours was not nearly enough. I guess we did have naps during the race. Well, I had a 90-minute nap. Brent had 2 naps. Brent's also holding the camera right now. Thanks, Brent. And yeah, we're now driving to Amsterdam to catch our 11:20 a.m. flight back to Toronto. But I don't know, when you think about how the event went, I think it was not too bad. You know, we started with 6 cars and we were down to 3 by the end. So, you know, it was pretty easy to handle the content, although like I'd still have some more work to do. I'll do some editing on the plane, which I'll probably fall asleep, but I'll also do some editing when I get back home because some things aren't due for a few days, just based on content schedules and whatnot. Did get some things done last night. Everyone's been happy with everything, and that's the most important thing. I'm my own worst critic when it comes to my work, and people are like always thinking that I could have done a better job, but you know, the clients are happy, and that's really what the most important thing is. But hopefully in this video you saw like really the toll that like a 24-hour race takes on you. Like we went for dinner last night just because, you know, I wanted to go for dinner with, you know, Brent and Drew, Michele and Nick, because, you know, we're good friends and it's nice to like have that sort of like camaraderie and like, hey, we survived, marked safe from Spa 24 on Facebook, you know, and just have a pizza and hang out. And that was probably not smart. Probably should have gone straight to bed because I'm absolutely exhausted, but hey, you know, we got it done. We had a nice dinner and then went home and got 6 hours of sleep, and now here we are. So the event itself, like 24 hours are really tough. You know, they take a huge toll on you to be awake that long, and not only like physically but also cognitively, especially if you have to do creative work and you have to edit. It can be really difficult because you're so tired, and you enter this sort of
state near the end of the race where you're just like, I'm really tired, I'm just gonna phone this in. And I try not to do that because I want to produce the best content I can, but sometimes you're just absolutely exhausted. And that's why this year, if you watch the vlog from the Daytona 24 hours, I said, like, I'm going to start having naps during these things. I used to stay up all the time and try and be a hero, and it was a whole like, oh yeah, I don't sleep during these things. But it's like, that's stupid. Take care of yourself. You're going to have a nap, you know, do that. I've never left the track during one, but there are lots of people that, you know, depending what their deliverable list is, they're like, yeah, I'm just making one long video at the end. I know I have enough night stuff. I'm going to go back to my hotel and have a 4 or 5 hour sleep. There's nothing wrong with doing that either, although we will joke and call you a part-timer. But yeah, when it's all said and done, you know, 24-hour races are incredibly tough. At Spa, especially, a track that's so difficult to traverse. If I didn't have the scooter, it would have made it incredibly difficult. If I didn't have Brent, it would have made it incredibly difficult. You can turn the camera and show yourself, Brent. Don't talk, okay? But yeah, it was just difficult, you know, but having two of us and like sort of working together, and I'm enjoying working as a team more often. I'm so used to doing events by myself, and I still do a lot of events by myself, but having a team and being able to coordinate just makes things less stressful, and that's really important. It helps you perform better. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I do really appreciate it. Again, hopefully this helped, you know, give you some insight into what it's like to work these races. And we only showed you the race day, but you have to remember there was a whole 4 full days of shooting and editing and being up late before we even got to the race day. So but yeah, hopefully with some good insight. You know, I'm just gonna say, like all YouTubers do, like, share, subscribe, all of that is a huge help. Again, if you like the hats, you can get one at lockdownbrand.com, and you can use my discount code MARK10 for 10% off. And honestly, this was a huge help when it was pouring rain at night. Water actually like beads off of like the icon hats, and my head stayed nice and dry. So it was a huge help. Also, all the music in this video is from audio.com, and there's also a deal with audio.com in the description below. And yes, I am an ambassador, so I do get a small commission if you join using my code SAVE70. But I use audio for a lot of my projects. It's an amazing music service. But we're now continuing on our drive to Amsterdam. Do you want to go to apostrophe S Hertogenbosch, Brent?
Yes, I do.
Show them apostrophe S Hertogenbosch. If there's any Dutch people watching, please let me know in the comments how a word can start with an apostrophe. But yeah, on the way to Amsterdam and off home. Again, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It's so great that we have nearly 3,000 subscribers now, and we will see you in the next one.